Hello, welcome Friday. I hope it's been a good week. If it's been a challenging week, I hope it's a great and relaxing weekend. And I'm sending love for that because it's rough times. We are feeling it. Mars will complete its retrograde and return to direct on the 23rd. So that is very soon, thankfully. And I'm coming in with another little snippet just on support, how you can support yourself a little bit through this time. And hopefully a different perspective for you, or perhaps a reminder, and may it be valuable. With everything that I've been talking about over the last few years, and I'm not going to mention the actual transit names, it doesn't matter, right? It's all listed, so you can go back and reference that. But we are being bent and have been bent and twisted and reshaped and dropped and picked up again and laughed at and plonked, and since 2016, if you go back to 2016, many global factors started to come into play around the same time and have these big effects. So now what's happening is you're not just trying to figure out your own life and your own path and your own year-to-year job savings. The whole world around you is going, far, we don't know what's going on, blah, crash. Okay. That's pretty scary. And I'm not going to tell you anything new today, and that's what I love about the work I do. Nothing is new. Nothing is new, which means that we have eons worth of resources to look back on and to use in order for us to be okay, for us to still be walking our path, to still be as optimum as we can, to still be of service to our neighbors, our friends, our families, the greater world out there, to still remember to feed ourselves. And already a lot of what I've just said, some of you are going, I'm not doing that, not doing that, not doing that. Okay, and that's okay. There are certain times in our life when we slip into a little groove. And let me tell you, it is not just a matter of getting up out of that trench and walking off. And if it is, wonderful. And then if that's happened to you, please go ahead and tell other people how to do that so that they don't stay there and stay there and stay there and stay there in all that pain. What I've learned lately to do, and what has really, really, really served me, and I do it more now because I'm speaking to clients and giving this information to them. By doing that, it's reminding me to do it as well, because I am notorious for not necessarily giving myself the best love. Let's put it like that. So when something is happening, there's real magic and power and strength in a slight shift of perspective, which would be, for example, think if your best friend, somebody you love dearly, whoever it is, a work colleague, somebody you love and cherish and treasure and revere and respect, comes to you and they have something on their heart and they relate it to you, what would you do? You would treat them with love. And even if it was a little bit of tough love, it would be from a place of love. You would feel them, you would understand them, you would immediately want to, not that you want to take it away from them because we can't do that, but to bring some comfort. So now it's to twist that around back onto you, so that when you are in a state of perhaps a groove, perhaps you lost a job, and you really haven't found one, and it's a year already, and your confidence has dipped. Okay. What we know is a week into a new job, your confidence is going to, and so much of what you're feeling will just naturally, and you may even look back and go, oh, I can't believe I felt like that. That was intense. But it's not easy to picture that and to feel that when it's not happening. So this change of perspective, because we've seen things like the law of attraction where people speak of, envision it and feel it, and my experience of that, and there's nothing wrong with that, it is a wonderful system, but people like me, we don't even know what we're worth, or we haven't known what we're worth. So how can I feel that thing over there, or that I want, if I can't even actually consider that I'm worth it? Isn't that interesting? So these littler exercises are simply just allowing a different perspective. You know, there's a quote by Maya Angelou where she says, do the best with what you know, and then when you know better, you'll do better, right? So the power in that is the forgiveness of not having known, of having fallen into a groove. Not fallen, that's the wrong word. If you can look at the why, it's not easy. I don't want to be told in a really bad state of my life to just carry on, look on the bright side, or just look at it differently. It's difficult, but ultimately this is one of life's eternal truths. All of the power is within you. Somebody can come here right now and change my life on an outward basis, but I'm still going to go to that new life with me. So if I have insecurities that pop up unrealistically, meaning actually they've had an expiration date, they no longer serve me, but I haven't learned that yet, I'm not going to thrive in that new place either. I'm not going to be able to be happy. I'm not going to be able to any of the things I think I want. So if you just make it much easier for yourself, then we don't even worry about that shit, right? And I've spent many years worrying about that stuff, even though I haven't necessarily been aware that I'm worrying about the stuff all the time. Or I'm not sitting at better tables because I just haven't actually cottoned on yet that, for fuck's sakes, those tables are my tables. Okay. If it is that you are in a time now of a lot of anxiety, then learn a little physical trick. What I found to be very, very effective for me, and I learned this when I just moved to Johannesburg, was, and it's somebody who did NLP taught me this, which is basically when something is making you anxious, you have pre-programmed, and however you want to do it, whether you put your thumb in your hand like this or whether you put that finger together, but when you do that, you diffuse it. Okay. And you just take a moment, and it's, or you can just get through it, and it's not actually such an anxious thing. And that was a very liberating thing for me, and because nobody knew I was doing it, I didn't have to actually tell anybody, or it was just amazing. And it has actually an effect on you like a calming tablet, where you are aware that this thing is here, but you are fine, you're walking through it. And that is the main part of what I want to speak about today. Is now, I've been calling it re-educating, because that's really what a lot of us have to do, right? We literally have to relearn certain things. So re-education, it's a word. I don't even need to try and find a different one, but another one has come into my space a lot as well, and that's reset, where I've realized that certain things that I'm experiencing right now, I am not going to be able to turn around unless I reset. Just stop. And this is the biggest thing I want to tell you about today, and maybe you can use it. Many years ago, again in Johannesburg, I realized that there were certain groups of people who were really overwhelming for me. Really, really overwhelming for me. They were just not good for me. And one day I was in a shop and I saw this drink, and it's an amazing drink in the bottle, and it was such a lovely thing, and it was called snapple, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's so catchy. And I was in a restaurant with a partner of mine at the time, and with the same group of people, and something happened, and I just looked at him and said, snapple. He went, what? And afterwards I realized I had, in that moment, and I think many of us have this kind of thing, where whippersnapple, that was my word, and that if you say whippersnapple, then everything stops. Now if you're in a fight, and we never fought, but you'll stop. If you are frustrated in the car, and you say whippersnapple, you stop it. If you've got road rage, whatever the situation is, whippersnapple is used to simply reset. Stop. It cannot carry on this way. We're not getting anywhere. Stop. So perhaps a whippersnapple for you could be something that is supportive. It's easy. It's fun. Find if it's a word that makes you immediately smile, it's even better. But take it very seriously. Again, treat this as you would that friend of yours who comes to you. You know, the one where after you spoke later that evening, you'll phone just to check in, or you'll send a little gift with that special little "I'm thinking of you," because you really are thinking of them. So treat yourself like that now. And that helps to diffuse really everything, the political situation in our world, because we aren't even just exposed to it in our own countries anymore. It's everywhere. Everything, your worries, your health, your creativity, your brain fuzz, your fear, you'll find that by simply giving yourself that moment to, which is permission, that's all it is. That's what it is, it's permission. And this is why we do things like ritual, because it's just that actual motion of it. Some people do that automatically. You know, there's those amazing people in the world who've smoked cigarettes for 20 years and then just one day they put that back down and they decide they're not going to do it again, and they never ever do. And then you have other people who have tried for 20 years to stop smoking. So you know which one you are. And if it's a whippersnapple you need, oh my God, please allow that for yourself, because we are in overdrive. We are in overdrive. We are really, really in overdrive. There are times when I sit down and think, oh, I'm going to watch something on Netflix. I'm going to find something funny. It's catastrophic, really. The cuck that's out there. It's scary. So reset. I don't actually need Netflix. Yeah, I love movies. I love the arts. But doesn't have to be my first go-to. It doesn't have to be the only thing that I do as a way of relaxing now. It's finding those things again. So whippersnapple, a word for yourself, and enjoy that moment of giving that to yourself, the opportunity to simply stop. Okay, sending lots of love.